Welcome to Modular Games. So you've decided to create your own role-playing game, or you decided to modify a game that you're already playing, and you wanted to create a character class. How do you do that? Okay, so it turns out that there are 4 methods of building a character class that I know of. And this is very much from the perspective of creating a game from scratch. If you're creating a class for an existing game, just use whatever structure they normally use. Compare it to other classes that are somewhat similar, make sure the power levels are about right, and so on. But talking about creating deciding on what class structure you want to have for your unique game, that is an interesting topic. There are 4 basic structures that role-playing games and other games have used for character classes. The first one is called set progression, and this is basically the default that you're going to be doing if you don't realize that there are any other options. It is not what I would call the most common, but the most expected. And this is that at first level you get these features, at second level you get those features, at third level you get different features, and you just go down the line, and as you get further and further in the class you have more and more powerful features, and it works really well actually. This is how character classes are defined in most games. However, it's not the only way to build a character class. And I find that many players really chafe under these restrictions, and the discomfort that comes about from the set progression system is really the origin of why multi-classing exists. The idea that I want some of the features from that class, and I want some of the features from that class, and I want to put them together. The set progression system is very, very helpful, but the restrictions push people towards other approaches. They push people to want to multi-class, they push people to want to create new character classes and similar things. So what's the second approach? The second approach is the skill-based system. And truth be told, the skill-based system does not need character classes. It can work without there being any character classes. But if you include a skill-based system with character classes, then it essentially says that you are going to spend experience points on various skills and abilities. Each rank of that skill is going to cost more than the previous rank. Some systems require you to purchase a skill before you can take skill ranks in it, and so on and so forth. If you combine this with a character class, then that means that you're going to have in-class skills, which cost less, and out-of-class skills that cost a little bit more, but function exactly the same way as if they were in-class skills once you've actually purchased them. Oftentimes, a skill-based system will have basic skills that are just numeric bonus on rolls, and then a completely different category of skills that grant you special features and powers. But they're still basically skills. You rank them up the exact same way. The third method is what I would call a talent tree. And as it so happens, there are actually 3 different flavors of talent trees as well. The simplest or most common variety of talent tree, I'll go ahead and say that talent trees are also the most common type of progression that I've found in modern role-playing games. The most common variety of talent trees is to have a hierarchical talent tree, where you have, at level 1, you have your low-level abilities, and then once you've filled out one of those boxes, you qualify to go down to the next level, and you have more options down there, and after you've filled out those, there are prerequisites to get other things as well. This is the way most video games work. It turns out that talent trees tend to be used in conjunction with set progression or skill-based progression. Talent trees are very often used as a secondary progression type alongside some other method. A secondary progression type used alongside some other method. Most video games will have a set progression system and a talent tree system on the side. Some games will have a skill-based system with a set progression system on the side, and using the talent trees on the side generally has a hierarchical talent tree system. What's the second variety of talent trees? Well, the second variety of talent trees is actually a hybrid between talent trees and the set progression system. This is what happens in Pathfinder, and it's also what happens in a DC-20, is that there's a set progression where at level 1 you get these type of features, and at level 2 you get these type of features, and at level 3 you get these type of features, but each level you have a certain type of features, but it doesn't tell you necessarily the specific features. We're going to get racial features at this level, and we're going to get skill-based features at this level, and we're going to get class features at this level, and at 4th level you also get class features. Something along those lines is the hybrid talent tree set progression system. I haven't worked out a perfect name for that. If you have a good name for this system, let me know. The third system for talent trees is what you would call a talent tree web. And a talent tree web completely eschews the idea of a class structure altogether. You start out at a central point, and you get a certain number of talent points every time you gain a level. And you get to select additional features that are adjacent in the web to features that you already have. If you want a great example of someone putting together this system, I suggest you take a look at the work of someone calling themselves the Ugly Goblin. I'll put a link to his video in the description below. He did an excellent job creating a classless talent tree web. Okay, so those are the 3 varieties of the third version of character class progression. The 4th option for character class progression is what I would call repeatable talents. This is what happens in the game Shadow Dark, where every time you gain a talent, you have a very short list of talents, and if you happen to get the same one multiple times, then the effects stack. It turns out that the repeatable talents system is also used in Daggerheart, which is very interesting that these very different games would use the same class progression system. Shadow Dark takes it one step further, however, by making it a randomized, repeatable talent tree system. A randomized, repeatable talent system, where Shadow Dark is completely player-controlled. And I'm not sure that the randomized system will work at all gaming tables, but it very much exemplifies old school OSR games. And so it worked great for Shadow Dark. It's a great game, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, you should. In addition to the 4 essential structures of how to build a character class, there are several other considerations to address. One of those considerations is what role your classes are going to be playing. I've got a video that I already made. I'll go ahead and link that. Another thing is, how do we want to accomplish our goals? If you want to create a class identity, which generally is desirable for character classes, what are you going to do in order to accomplish that? I haven't recorded that video, but you should expect it soon. And I'll talk to you again when it's finished. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment on the video. Tell me if there are any varieties of character class progression that I may have missed. If there are, I might include that in the sequel video. And I will talk to you all next time.